Tell me this, if you were a deeply, fundamentally, biblically insecure 79-year-old man, overweight, ridiculed, repeatedly losing, and you can feel in the quiet hours of the night when the Diet Coke wears off and the gold leaf on your headboard stops glittering, that history is going to remember you as nothing more than a punchline, as an abuser's alleged pal, as a guy who lost a war to Iran, and a guy whose court cases keep coming up short, and a guy who keeps shrinking in the polls. You'd know it. You'd feel it. You can hear it in the Mar-a-Lago hallways. So what do? If you're Donald Trump, you don't fix it. You don't earn a legacy like normal people. You don't pass historic legislation. You don't deliver on one single domestic accomplishment. You simply start writing your name on everything in the United States of America like a kindergarten who got handed a Sharpie. The Bulwark broke an exclusive this week. The State Department is finalizing a redesign of our passports. And the new design, right there on the inside cover, will feature a scowling Donald Trump. You know, the picture from his inaugural portrait, superimposed over the Declaration of Independence, which Trump probably hasn't read. And it'll have his signature in gold leaf at the bottom. Why not? And according to sources at the State Department, they have confirmed that this is happening on the record. And the Bulwark talked to a guy named Edward Kalla. He's a professor at Georgetown, and he is impressively something that I never thought actually existed, the world's leading expert on the history of passports. And he said that no modern American passport has ever featured the picture of a sitting president. No foreign country passport features its current head of state. Not North Korea, not Belarus, not Turkmenistan. No one does it. Even the worst dictators on the planet look at this idea and they say, you know what? That's too much. It looks unstable. It looks like something a fragile man would do. We aren't going to do that. Donald Trump, however, will do that because he is a fragile man. And he will be the first, as far as I can tell, sitting head of state on the planet to put his own face on his country's passports. The current passport, by the way, has the lyrics of the Star-Spangled Banner, an image of the Voyager spacecraft, one of our finest achievements as a human, and a quote from the 19th century abolitionist activist Anna Julia Cooper. The cause of freedom is not the cause of a race or a sect, a party or a class. It is the cause of humankind, the very birthright of humanity. Beautiful and stirring words. That is the passport that you have right now. And they want to replace that with a scowling photo of Donald Trump. And that's just on top of all the other stuff we know about, the inventory of public property that Donald Trump is slapping his name or face on. You know, the dollar coin with Trump's face. It's the first time, by the way, sitting American president's face has appeared by itself on a U.S. Coin. Calvin Coolidge did it in 1926, and that tanked. Nobody used it. They are bringing that bit back now, 100 years later, except this time, full vanity, no other presidents, just Donald Trump solo. He's also getting his signature on paper currency. The Treasury is also making, as large as possible, commemorative gold coins. In the actual project specifications, it says, as large as possible. Your National Park Service has Donald Trump's face on the federal park passes. You have to go to trumprx.gov to look up prescription drug prices. There is a Trump class of battleships being floated out there, pun intended. The U.S. Institute of Peace, renamed for him. The Kennedy Center, of all places, the Kennedy Center. The cultural memorial to our beloved assassinated president has been renamed for Donald Trump, and he's closing it for 2 years for renovation so he can have marble armrests. You've got the Trump Gold Card that you can buy for $1 million to expedite your immigration. The Trump Platinum Card for $5 million. You have Trump Accounts, which is the custodial IRA for kids that came out of the big, beautiful bill. If you walk around D.C., there are giant banners with Trump's face all over federal buildings. an airport in Florida named after him. And there's always talk of putting him on Mount Rushmore, and the official justification for all of this, for every single piece of it, is that it's just part of the celebration of the 250th anniversary of American independence in July. The 250th anniversary is the celebration of the moment in 1776 where American patriots told a king named George they would no longer kneel before a single human being. Remember that. Donald Trump's chosen way to celebrate our independence is to make Americans kneel before his face on every government document, building, coin, park pass, prescription drug website, immigration documents, and gold coins. The American Revolution, it was a war fought to depose a king. And we are using the 250th anniversary to crown a new one. And I've said this before, Donald Trump knows. He knows somewhere underneath all the bronzer and the layers of fat from all the Big Macs, somewhere underneath the imagined cheering of the Mar-a-Lago bathroom mirror, Donald Trump knows that history won't remember him kindly. So he's using the apparatus of our federal government to write his own history, to force his face into the historical record. Because he understands that no one is going to put up a statue to him in 5 years or 50 years. So he has to put it up himself, today, using your tax dollars. It's a move that every dictator does, every single one. Saddam Hussein had statues of himself in every Iraqi roundabout. Stalin renamed cities. Mao renamed mountains. Putin's face is on Russian souvenirs at every airport. It's universal. And it comes from insecure men with absolute power, and they use that power to demand that they be loved and remembered. Donald Trump will not be loved. And that's what this passport thing and everything else tells you. You don't put your face on the passport because you are great. You put your face on a passport because you have a hole in your chest that screams that you're not great and that you can't fix it. And the only thing you can do is force 250,000 people who travel internationally to look at your mug every time they go through customs and pretend that that is the same thing as being loved. It's not. They will hate it. They will hate you. And every traveler who looks at it will be reminded every single time of exactly the kind of man you are, which is, in a way, perhaps the most fitting historical legacy of all. And you know what? I had to dig to find the passport story. I had to go to the Bulwark to find it. And independent media are the only people that are keeping stories like this alive. That's why when you see a video like this, leaving us a comment, hitting the subscribe button, all of that takes just a second of your time, but it means the world to places like us.